I think we're currently on day 4 of the VR6 turbo build, but it's all in. So the plan for today is to hopefully we'll compression test it, and then if that checks out properly, which it should, start her up. There's only a handful of things left to do. Both axles in, the drive shaft. I got almost all the wiring done yesterday. We had the front end to put on, and then oil, coolant, and that kind of stuff. And then there's a little cap back here we're gonna pop off, spin the little the gear, prime the engine with oil. Once that's done, we can unplug our coil pack and our injectors, do the compression test, and just make sure it cranks over a little bit, and I think it's good to go. And then plug it back in, and hopefully it starts up no problem. So if you guys remember, this one here is the plug-in for the factory ECU running the turbo Gockel tune, and then this is the MS3 Pro, his Mega Score that he was running off of wherever the other connection was. But all this is getting taken out, so we're just gonna be running the car just off of the ECU with the turbo Gockel tune, which is like what tune, like what, 18, 19 psi? Yeah, give or take. 19, yeah. So it'll still be fast. We won't have that like tunable ability anymore, but still I guess it ran better off the factory ECU tune, so we'll be sticking with just this one. So Steve's going ahead and pulling out all of the harness stuff for the MS3 Pro, the controller here, and then all of this plumbing through there and through up here. I'm gonna go through and get both the axles in and then work on the drive shaft. Passenger side axle is now in, and with this one bolted up, I can rotate that hub and adjust the flange back here to get it lined up. So the bolts going in now, there's 3 10s, and then once those are bolted in, we can do the other axle, and then that'll all be done. Bring her out. Let's see it. Woo! What size is this? I didn't ask you. This is a Garrett something.
Garrett, they call it the T3 with a 62 something. I don't know. It's like the entry level.
It's a good size turbo, entry level, but it's a good size turbo. So turbo's gonna go on now. We can do here and bolt up the wastegate. Once that's done, there's a little cap that's right down here to the oil drive gear, I want to say it is. We're gonna spin that, get oil throughout the engine, and then through the feed line right there to the turbo. Once that's done, the engine is primed with oil. We can go ahead and get the battery picked up, plug our coil pack, and do a few compression tests, and just crank it over a few times. Get all the fuel pushed through, the oil pushed through, and then if all that checks out, we're ready to go ahead and put the last few bits on the front of the car and then start her up. But everything else is plugged up. All these lines are on. I think all the wiring is done. Axles are done, drive shaft's done. It's just prime with oil, compression tested, and then everything checks out. We're ready to start her up. There she goes. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this out of the way. I think once you have that bottom stud there, it's kind of a pain. Up just a little bit. Yeah, it was fun getting that out of here. Good, and now we can lift this out back a little bit, and then slide those two through. There it is. And we'll do these bolts, and then wastegate. Now it's a VR6 turbo. Now it's official. We've got one last bolt on the turbo, which is the one on the back side, which is almost impossible to get to, and then there's 2 on the wastegate. This one you can get to pretty easily, but the one on the bottom side is just about impossible to get to. You guys remember when I pulled this apart the first time, I was like, man, these bolts are an absolute pain. But once this is done, it's probably like the last thing that's holding us up, and then we can make some good progress forward. So after about an hour, everything's finally tight up here. End up swapping out the Allen bolt, the 6mm Allen bolts here for some nice 13s, because these are way easier to work with, and I despise these things. So oil feed line's in. He's doing the drain line right now, and she goes. And this is just temporary, like break. I mean, it's not a new engine, but we'll run this oil for just a little bit, and then maybe 300, 400 miles. Drain this and put some. You say you want to use what, liquid moly? Yeah. Swap it out. So just a temporary little thing. Change the oil, make sure the pan's clean of any metal shavings, and then put some good fresh oil in there. So at this point, we are very, very close. Steve just left to go pick up the battery for the car. Once he's back with that, we can go ahead and crank the engine over and prime it. The coil pack's unplugged, all the injectors, and the 167 relay is out. It won't actually try and start, but just to move everything around and get it primed, we'll do that. And then after that, we can also do the compression test and make sure all the cylinders are where they should be. Instead, I don't know what a turbo VR6 cylinder pressure should be at. We did put the head spacer into lower compression, so it's gonna be lower than like a factory VR6, but I'm assuming like maybe 120, 130 across the board, I would say. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking somewhere around there, and we should be good to go. Once it's primed, once we check compression and it checks out, which I hope it does, then we can go ahead and plug everything back up and start her up for the first time. And I cannot wait to hear this car and to hear the turbo and just, oh, we're close, boys. We're very close. So we just got some bad news. The battery that was in this car that sat for a very long time is completely shot, won't hold a charge. So he's gonna need a new battery, which he'll get tomorrow. But for now, this is on hold.
Early the next morning.
Ooh, it's here. Let's go. Oh, we got a big box. Let's go. Let's lift her up. Come along. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. So as you can see, we got ourselves a big box. I'm pretty sure there's a box inside this box, but they just packaged it with their stuff. But I don't know if I'm gonna show you this today, maybe tomorrow, but we got a big box. All right, so today the VR6 Turbo shall live. Well, fingers crossed, but I'm confident it'll live. Steve should be here in about 20 minutes with the battery for the car, so we can go ahead and crank it over and do all that kind of fun stuff. I need to swap out this 4-bar for this 3-bar, and then we are ready to go. There he is. You got good stuff? Ooh, we got a big old battery.
This monster.
Big old battery. She's ready to go. Nice. Toss on in there.
This is what's looking for.
Big old race car battery. There you go. Yeah, the plus on the side there. Perfect. So we'll hook that up. I've already got the one to pull the plugs out. This stuff's already unplugged. Once we're all plugged up, we can go ahead and crank it over, prime it, compression test, and again, fingers crossed. I'm confident it'll be fine. It should be fine. Let's go ahead and grab this. This is our compression tester. All right, so 3-bar has been swapped in. Our battery is now connected. Let me go ahead and see what we got going on in the car. We should have lights on the dash, which we do. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the keys, make sure, because we have the factory fuel pump undone and also his other external one. We should have no sound now, but I should have like the hum. All right, cool. I heard it click up there, so that's good. So good. No fuel pumps are running, so we're not pushing any fuel. Everything else is off. Let's go ahead and get the compression tester out. Well, I guess we can crank it over first and see what it does, and then add that, or crank at the same time. It'll be fine.
At least we can get one.
All right, here we go. Moment of truth. Let's see what it sounds like. All right, so for a VR6, a new VR6, we should be somewhere between 145 and 189. Again, this is a boosted engine, so the compression should be a bit lower, but they should be within all, I think, 30 psi of each other. Wear limit down to 109. So we want to be over 109, so somewhere between the 145 to 109 range is where we should hope to see. All right, you ready? Let's see if I wired this properly. So I hope I did. All right, so we'll crank it over like maybe 10 or so seconds. I got AC blowing. No, off. Okay, well, let's do that. All right, ready? Oh, look at that. And done. What we got?
It was like 110, and it was still going up.
110 going up. I could have gone longer, but we're past at least the wear limit, so that's good. Want to do it again on the same one?
Yeah.
Let's try it again on that same one. All right, take 2 on that same cylinder. About 10 seconds there, or 15 seconds. What we get to?
Maybe 130.
Let's see. Not bad. Like I said, we're gonna be a little bit lower than what a new engine should be at, but we're past where the wear limit is. So we're right in that sweet spot of lower compression for turbo. Good. One cylinder checks out. Very nice. So this is our manual boost gauge, or boost controller. We took off the MS3 Pro yesterday. We had one open vacuum line here. That's in a T right there, and then go to this one. So that?
That's just to close the circuit.
Just to close it for right now. We'll probably relocate it later on, but just so it's closed and there's no open vacuum lines. All right, so we just did all 6 cylinders. They're all right between the 110 to 120 range, which is consistent across the board, which is good. Like I said, I don't know how much the head spacer is supposed to lower the compression from factory. It is a used engine, but they're all consistent, so that is a good sign. So now we can go ahead and just make sure the oil's still good. We can put the plugs in after he gaps them. and then we can replug all this stuff up and go for the first start. Also, looking under the car, we have no oil leaks. Everything looks to be sealed properly. We haven't actually run the car yet, but as of right now, nothing is leaking, which is a very good sign. Plugs have been gapped down to 0.25 and they're ready to go in. We are so close to our first startup. So this side is all done, catch can, all the piping and the mask plugged in. I'm gonna go through and put the intercooler in and finish this circuit up to the throttle body and vacuum line off here and there. We moved the boost controller up to here. Steve just left to get a line so we can tee off this one and complete that. And then he also has to grab the other key because this key will start the car, but it won't stay running. We need the key with the immobilizer on it so the car won't shut back off. But we're so close. We are so close to that first startup. It looks so sick. As soon as we have the key and the fitting for right here is go time, boys. And the reason why I want to start the car like this is so I can see the front of the block, make sure there's no leaks up here, make sure there's no oil leaks, anything like that. But once that checks out, obviously the front end will go back on and I'll add coolant, that kind of stuff. We can run the engine without coolant for a few minutes just to make sure everything's good to go. Woo, boys, we are so close. So, I keep saying it, but I'm excited. I'm really excited to hear this thing run again. All right, he's back. We got our line going in right here. Bam. And you have the key, right? I sure hope you have the key. There's the one, let me see. Oh, there it is, bam, with our immobilizer. So,
you need to plug this in?
Nope, this is for the radio, that kind of stuff. So at this point, yeah, with the key and that, we're ready to go. All right, I'll give you the keys. You do the honor.
Let's see.
Yeah, I believe both fuel pumps should be plugged in. Let me do one last check real fast. Vacuums are on. That's in. These are all in. Coil packs on. Injectors are all good. Good. Everything down here is plugged up. Yeah, I would say you are good to try. Oh boy. I hear the fuel pump going. Ooh, right on. Like no hesitation, just right on. Now, once some oil gets into the head, it should quiet back down a little bit. Yo. She started right up, like no hesitation, no funny business, just on. That's what I'm talking about. I said once the oil circulates a bit more, the ticking up here should go down, but it runs. I didn't see any type of leaking. Everything looks to be good so far. I didn't run very long, but should be good. We have a slight leak up here. So yeah, that feed line right here. Just a little bit, not crazy, but the feed line for the turbo is leaking just a little bit. So we need to address that. Yeah, it's actually running down a little bit now. But other than that, at least down here, I don't see any leaks. Woo, boys. That's exciting. That's good stuff. So once we address this this feed line here, and that's no longer leaking, we're good. We can go ahead and put the front end on the car, coolant, power steering, and put her down. We're gonna test, make sure the shift linkage is proper, just move it back and forth, we have all the gears, and then we'll go for a quick drive. But I'm so excited, it started right up. That's so sick. Yeah, go ahead. Let me watch this on this time. Yeah, it looks better. No leak in this one, I don't think. Now we're good. So we added an extra washer on accident. We couldn't remember which one it was, but now with the washer moved to the bottom and none on top, the banjo fitting is proper and no more leak. So, oh boy, dude, this thing starts like right up, like no hesitation. That's so sick. So I think at that point we are done with all of this. We need to go ahead and get the front end on, the coolant filled up, power steering filled up. We need to bleed the slave cylinder for the clutch. I think he has all gears when I was checking earlier, but we'll have to adjust that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. It's such a good feeling. After all that work, for just to start right up, no hesitation, that's so sick. You started again?
No, I was looking at...
Okay.
I was thinking about making sure that we have everything plugged up right to check codes.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, I think I did it right. I don't know.
It can
I don't know.
The right one for the start.
Honestly, this is my first time touching the VR6, so I just thank you for letting me mess with your car. Dude, that's so sick. It runs like perfectly. You haven't drove it yet, but oh, what a relief. It's a full car again. So fluid's going in, power steering fluid, maybe a little bit of brake fluid once we bleed the actual slave cylinder, and coolant. And we are ready to let it idle for a little while, make sure everything's good, gets up to temp, and then we can go for a drive and see how she does. Look at that. Moving right along. As you can see, the clutch has been bled. That's good to go. Power steering fluid is in. Once we run the car, we'll turn the wheels back and forth to get it to cycle through. And coolant's about to go in, and then we are ready to run the car. Look who's here. In her little Golf. Speaking of R32s, a Reflex Silver US spec two-door R32 just sold for $60,000. Did you see that? 2000, I think it was 2004 Reflex Silver American spec just sold for $60,900. But it 60,000. It did have like 5,000 miles I want to say on it, and he sold it on some like Porsche auction site, which I mean,
still
they're getting there. I mean, they are getting rare. But for one that has 5,000 miles on it and like brand new condition,
60,000.
60K. So that R32 for sale?
No, it's
on sale. We'll do 55K. You gonna do 55K? We'll do 55K right now. The R32's for sale. Also good news, we got the extension, so now we can register the wagon. So this will be her daily wagon. I have my daily wagon, and the VRs will kind of just chill in the barn until the weekend stuff.
yes.
Sick. All right, go ahead. We're gonna let it run for till it gets to the temp basically. It starts up so nice. So everything's full. We're gonna check for leaks, which I don't see any. So let it run for maybe 4 or 5 minutes or until it gets up to the temp. Make sure everything's good. Let's go back here. Let's get some of that exhaust real fast. Oh yeah. Sounds good. So the car's idling really well. The fans work. I will say it is a little bit loud, the lifters. But I had checked them, they all work no problem. So I'm hoping after it runs a little while, they will quiet back down. But the car's idling super smooth, so we did the timing properly, which is good. Whew. How are we looking for a temp in there?
Yeah, we still haven't gotten operating yet.
Okay. Is it moving up at all?
It's moving up.
Oh, move up a little bit? All right, cool. We'll see if it quiets down at all. All right, so engine got up to temp and held no problem. Again, we still have not a single leak anywhere down here, which is always very good. There was a small leak right here on the feed line, which I tightened up, so that should be good now. That was causing a little bit of the smoke that was over here, and then maybe some of the paint burning off. We also had oil spill down the backside over here from this line when it wasn't tight enough, so that was some of the oil as well. It is a bit loud. I'm hoping it quiets down. Like I said, when I checked those lifters, they all worked perfectly. Maybe one seized up, I doubt it, but maybe we need a heavier weight oil. Who knows? We put some cheap oil in for right now just to run it, but we'll be swapping 2 different oil later on. Maybe that'll help. Who knows? We'll go ahead and put it back on the ground and see if all the gears work, and then maybe go for a little drive and see. But other than that, idle's good, up to temp good. There's no leaks anywhere, so aside from the clicking, it's looking pretty good. After, I don't know, 4 or 5 months, back on the ground, looks so good. Also, this is like our 3rd or 4th startup, and it quieted down a whole bunch. So hopefully a little bit more driving, a few more startups and turn-offs, I think it'll be completely fine. But it's already, yeah, it's way quieter now. That's good. Dude, this thing looks good, man. Woo! All right, this will be first test, put in the car in gear. It felt like it had all the gears, but let's see. How do they feel? Have you tried to go through all of them yet? For like...
Clutch is getting on.
You had to pump it a little bit sometimes. Oh yeah, that's so much better than before. So quiet now. And that fuel pump is so loud. How's that feel? Yeah, gear, you think?
Yeah. Hold up.
You go ahead. Your rear cappers might be a little bit stuck. They haven't moved in a while. Can you get that? Oh yeah, there it is. Woo! Bro, this car has been sitting in this spot for like, I don't know, 7 months, maybe longer, and it's moving like nothing. Got reverse? Ooh, with the reverse lights. I wired it properly. Very good. Feel all right?
All right, we'll take it around the block.
Yes, sir. Woo! Oh yeah, all the carnage is still down here.
Just a reminder.
Just a reminder of last time. Got them out your window. Look at these cobwebs that haven't been moving so long. There's cobwebs everywhere. We may have to adjust it a little bit, but if it feels all right, we can probably leave it alone.
It's more the clutch you need.
Okay. Here, let's go right first, and we'll go up to the little neighborhood. That way, if we break down for some reason, we're pretty close to the house. Oh yeah, it did quiet down so much. You can't even hear it anymore. Now that sound you're hearing now is just a synchro. The synchro system is just loud. Go this way, go right. Yeah, we'll go up around here just in case. Woo. Feeling all right? Now just do right and then do a little loop around. Yeah, that back caliper was a little bit stuck. When I tried to push the car one time, no chance.
Yeah,
no chance. Yeah, it just sat for so long. It just let all the water and stuff, it just like rusted it together. The VR6 wagon lives again after a very, very long time. Whew. Woo, a little flutter and go left here. Gear still good though? None feel out of place?
No, it feels like normal.
That was good. These guys just built their garage and he's got a nice little, whew, all right. No M3 chilling. I was so excited to be back in this car. So it feels good. We can go out and go left and go to the little back roads if we want to drive a little bit more. Yeah, or we can actually push it a little bit. So now you're good at this point. Woo! What a sound! It's been a while. You any boost in that one?
Oh, I got up to 3 pounds.
3 pounds? All right. It's been a minute, man. That sound is... This car has one of the best turbo sounds of all time. What was on that one?
I think I got up to 9.
9 pounds?
I'm afraid to go because I just want to make sure the oil is in there.
Yeah, we don't need to kill it just yet, but whew, that sounds so good. This'll work. Ooh, that sounds so good. Everything feels good though? It feels like it pulls really strong.
It was almost like normal.
And you're barely on it too. Like I said, we should be down a little bit of power going from a 3-liter bottom end and the 2.9 head to a 2.8 bottom end and 2.8 head. But it shouldn't be off by too much. But the car pulls strong though, it feels great. Make this right up here. And we'll go around the backside. Man, that thing sounds ridiculous. Oh, cabrio. Oh my God.
Alright, so
He barely, it didn't feel like he wants to go. So after,
it went past 15 though, so
Okay.
I might have to replumb.
okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching for. I don't want it to go too hard.
Yeah, we don't want to overboost it.
Get my,
Not plugged in.
my plug back in so I can see where I'm running on.
Dude, it sounds crazy. Now, you guys can't feel it, but you can hear it obviously, but like, it puts you in the seat really good. Like it's ready to just like freight train and be gone. God, that thing is so sick. So we're about, I would say, 10 minutes into this drive. Temp is still holding fine. There's no smoke from the engine bay. It's running so smooth. It hits boost, no problem. I think we're good. This thing feels so nasty, dude. I need a turbo in my car so bad. It's crazy. This car sat for so long, and now it's like nothing ever happened. But now I know. I've been wanting to boost my car for so long, and I was kind of like, it's a scary process to be like, oh, I have to do all this stuff in my car. But doing this one, aside from like actually like building the block, if I just got all the pieces, I could boost my car at home. If I got a tap pan already ready to go, if I don't have to do any welding, just put all the pieces together. We just did it.
In less than a week.
Yeah, that was a quick turnaround. We made it. The VR6 lives again. If you haven't already, please do me a favor and smash the like button, because this thing runs in less than a week and it sounds amazing. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do so. We're less than 200 away now from 20K, and this is pretty good. You know, this is pretty good. Oh man, I know this video's been pretty long, but she runs, she drives, it rips. We didn't really get on it, but like this thing absolutely rips. We're gonna go through the engine bay real fast, make sure nothing's leaking, look under the car. Oh my god, this thing is so much fun. I wanted to check this feed line. That one looks good. This one has a little bit still.
So we need to.
So I tightened these two down, but there's still a little bit of oil coming out. It's not burning, but it's a little tiny bit pulling up. So yeah, I'll probably pull this off when it cools off, and then we'll do either a gasket. It looks like he had like gasket maker there, but I feel it's way too hot for that, but maybe not. We'll have to find a little gasket for that and fix that leak. But other than that, let me check under the car, make sure there's nothing down here. Pan looks clean, power steering looks clean. Oh, so sick.
Yeah.
Such a relief. Yo, I haven't seen this section of driveway in so long. Look how much space we have now. Now I have room to buy more cars, which is always good. So while Steve is getting the AFR gauge going again, I'm gonna go ahead and throw the turbo blanket back on the hot side. And then pretty much at that point, the engine bay will be completely done, minus getting the new gasket seal for the feed line. But other than that, she good. Boom, engine bay is complete. We connected another wire over there, and it works now, right? You wanna flip that key real fast? Oh, it's this one. Oh, I want you all shock you over here. Oh, let's see. You got both. There it is, bam.
So now it should read what is going through the exhaust now.
Yeah, so now we can actually make sure we're not running too rich or too lean. We prefer to be rich than lean, but
It's red, so I gotta
add another wire on there. I'll plug it back in.
or plug it in. Now I'll probably have to recalibrate it again,
Okay.
because it should be green. Yeah, if we have to do the recal, we gotta take it to the hobby shop,
Okay.
take it out, let it see some air,
And then,
and then it'll recalibrate.
cool. Either way, all the gauges work. Engine bay is completely done and buttoned up until we put that back in. But hey, honestly, thinking about it, to do the rebuild we did on this horrible cobblestone and gravel and with the minimal tools, like, not bad. Not bad. And the thing runs amazing so far, so I'm excited. All right, man. Well, that's, yo, for the least qualified shop, we got her done. So tomorrow we're gonna drive the car to the hobby shop, get on the lift, do an oil change, check the oil, make sure there's no metal shapes in there, and just do a whole look under the bottom of the car. But the car feels great. It's running so smooth now. We had that loud click sound in the beginning, but it's totally gone away. And now when it's running, it's so smooth. So that, for checking the oil and making sure we're not over boosting the car, because we want to go and blow this up right away. And once those two things are taken care of, she's ready to run. And let me tell you, this thing, like, it pulls so hard. Oh, I miss this car. All right, you guys, that's it. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am just so hyped on this car. It's just, I'm proud of us. What we accomplished in my cobblestone little driveway and my gravel floor barn, I'm proud. I'm very proud we accomplished, and the thing runs so good. Like, you can't feel it through the camera, but this thing rips. And it was only on like 14 PSI. We're gonna bump it up to at least 18, 19 later on, but there it is. Again, if you haven't already, please do me a favor, like the video, helps me out a great deal. And if you're not subscribed, we are under 200 away from 20K. And we have VR6 turbo noises. Like, what can you not like about that? So again, hope you guys enjoyed. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.